Greetings, fellow Facebookites and fellow YouTubeites. Let's get ready to rock and roll! Today is Friday, October the 17th of 2014. I know it's been a little while since I did my last video, which was the that end of D-back season video. But, you know, that's the thing. Sometimes I kind of wonder what I want to talk about. You know, it takes me a little while to figure it out. But last night, I finally figured out what I want to talk about here. Of course, before we get into that, I got a couple of preliminaries I'd like to pass along. Okay, first off, it come to my attention a couple of times recently that, you know, on this show, you remember... if you were to watch the first number of videos that I did, you remember I showed you my title on that piece of paper, and I would, you know, put it in front, then I put it in front of the camera, then flip it around and say, with crisscross applesauce, you know, see. But then I started, of course, eventually along the way I taught myself how to do those annotations, you know, those on-screen texts, you know. In fact, the very first one I did was when I was passing along some tour dates for some rock group. I forgot. I think it was Buckcherry. I forgot. But anyway, and I misquoted a tour date, and so I put a little balloon. You know, it was right about here. You know, I said, "Oops." I meant May the something. I'm sorry about that. See. So I figured, you know what, I'll do, so I started doing on-screen text, you know, and of course, you know, sometimes, you know, I would move over to this side or to this side so I could put some on-screen text to the side, you know. But, you know, it comes to my attention a couple of times, you know, some number of weeks ago, I was eating out down at a KFC, and I was sitting over near a group of people. They were talking, and I had a few, and I talked with them a little bit. I told them that I had a YouTube show, and one of the girls there, she got her tablet or iPad or whatever it was she had. She was able to find my show. I looked at one of my videos, but for some reason, there's no text, you know. You know, I noticed that because, you know, instead of that piece of paper, I now put the title, you know, on my screen, just like that. See, there it is. You know, let's get ready to rock and roll. See, but it was, for some reason, that text didn't show up. I kind of wondered what was up with that. You know, maybe it just depends on the device she's using. And you know, the other day, this past Sunday, I went over to visit some friends of mine, and we saw a past episode of my YouTube show on my ignore that sound. That's just someone posting something. So anyway, it was that video that I did about you know, that day when I talked about Robin Williams and his tragic death, you know. Because instead of saying my title, you know, I just sat here about like that for the first 10 seconds while my title would be on the screen like that. And but for some reason it didn't show up there. We watched it on their Roku device. You know, they got a Roku for their TV. You know, but I don't know if there's a way you can put that on-screen text on devices like those, you know, but you know, sometimes, you know, I always do, if I know I'm going to put on-screen text certain ways, I always say, you know, hey, for all the info, go to this website here, or, you know, I motion like that, you know, or, like I say, I sometimes scoot over to one side and put the on-screen text here, you know, when I'm doing those D-back game dates and stuff like that, you know. And if you didn't have on-screen text, you know, you're probably thinking, hey, what's this guy smoking or something like that. But if you can, yeah, if you're able to get that text on whatever device you see my show on, make sure your on-screen text is on, because trust me, this show works better with on-screen texts. Okay? So I thought I'd pass that along to you, in case you're wondering why I sometimes do those movements, like moving to one side or check out this website here, or, something like that, So anyway, I just thought I'd pass that along to y'all. So, yeah, hopefully you're watching this with my on-screen texts, I put the texts on right after I post these things on YouTube, and then I add the on-screen text, those annotations they call them. So anyway, I thought I'd pass that along to you. So, yeah, next time you watch my YouTube show, make sure the on-screen text is on, because trust me, this show works better with on-screen texts. Okay? Now, moving right along, the other preliminary I'd like to pass along, check this out. This past month, while my immediate boss at work was out, I think she was out doing training or whatnot, because she just promoted, she became my immediate boss recently. She was a supervisor, it just wasn't mine, but of course not just any supervisor, she's now the assistant manager at the office I work at, And anyway, she was out for a couple or so weeks, and of course our top boss, our manager, he did an email saying, to go ahead and turn in their, he gave us 3 choices for holiday leave, I could only think of 2 choices, Thanksgiving week and Christmas week, okay? So I emailed my my leave requests for both of those weeks, and of course, my immediate boss, she eventually came back, and I had waited and waited and waited, day after day, and up until 2 Mondays ago, okay, when I found out that a coworker who sits, her desk is right by mine, actually she's just there part-time because she usually works at the front desk, but anyway, I mentioned the fact that I still hadn't heard nothing. I hadn't got no email letting me know whether or not my time has been, even though our manager told me that my chances of getting Thanksgiving week were pretty good, because every Thanksgiving week I go, I made a tradition to go fly out of here to West Texas and have Thanksgiving with my mom and the relatives, So, but I still hadn't, I kept waiting and waiting and waiting. I still hadn't heard nothing. So when I found out that my coworker, she got her time requests, her leave requests granted by her boss, I figured, you know what, I better go talk to my boss about that. So when I had a chance, I went over to her office, and our manager was in there too at the time. I asked her, I told her what the deal was. For some reason, she said she never got my those requests, But turns out our manager, it kind of slipped his mind, he forgot to pass those requests on to her, That's what the deal was, Oh, good thing I checked that one. Anyway, she looked at those times, and that looks like I'm gonna get those times off. Thank God for that. So, but I was more worried about Thanksgiving week, because if I gotta make those plane reservations, she wanted to get me that week. So right then and there, I got my smartphone out, and because I got the app right there for Southwest Airlines, and so I did make my reservations right then, and because I found the 2 days, I decided to get out of here Saturday the 22nd and come back Saturday the 29th of November. Okay. So anyway, I got those. Went ahead and made those reservations, and of course, now a week later, this past a week, I found out because they did Southwest did a little what you trying to say? They got a sale going on, and I think that's why they did this. They lowered those fares about 33 or so bucks for the trip out. So I went ahead and fortunately though, because you see the trip out and the trip back at the time that I made those initial reservations would be $190 something each way. Okay. But as it turns out, now it's $160 something for the trip out. Fortunately, though, I was able to change the reservation. I made it so I got the same flights, same time and all that stuff. But now I got for 33 bucks less. Yeah, I'll tell you what, and of course they gave me a little choice. I'm assuming they did this because of the fact that I'm a member of the Rapids Rewards Club. What I did was not 33 bucks that I saved, they gave me a choice of either refunding it or saving it for the next time I fly. So I decided to have them save it. So I'll hang on to that and I can use that, sort of like my own little discount for the next time I fly out, And of course with Rapid Rewards, I think for a couple of years, your rewards never fade out, so your reward points and all that stuff. So I'll tell you what, Southwest, my kind of airline. And Southwest is just like me, a Texas native. And I don't know if you've noticed on the website and all that stuff, they recently changed their logo and they're changing the paint job on all the planes, So, whereas the name Southwest is no longer on the tail, it's now on the body. And their little heart is on the belly, the underside of the aircraft. I'll tell you what, Southwest, my kind of airline, and of course, down in Dallas, they recently did away with the Wright Amendment. So now Dallas Love Field, the home of Southwest Airlines, they can fly out. They have the ability to fly more flights directly out of Dallas, to places they weren't able to go to, because that Wright Amendment, when I first heard the term Wright Amendment, I thought it was named after the inventors of the airplane, Wilbur and Orville Wright. But it was named for that Congressman Jim Wright, Anyway, they'd established the Wright Amendment to restrict certain flights out of Dallas Love Field. This was to make sure to guarantee the success of DFW Airport. That airport opened in the mid-'70s, DFW did, but anyway, but now there's more nonstop flights from more destinations out of Love Field. So, and of course this November, if I want to visit my dad over in Dallas, I could take a nonstop flight from here in Phoenix straight to Dallas Love Field. That's going to start November the 2nd, the day before my birthday. So, yep, I'll tell you what, if someone were to ask me if I had what's the best airline to fly, I would tell them, if Southwest flies there, fly Southwest. And don't screw around with any other airline. I wonder if maybe Southwest would use that as a little plug. So, yeah, and of course, so what was I going to say next? So, yep, My kind of airline. What more can I say? And I remember a couple years back, I had a coworker who told me when it comes to flying, watch them baggage fees, man. Not me. Southwest doesn't do baggage fees. At least for up to 2 checked baggages and 1 carry-on, So, yep, what more can I say? Southwest, my kind of airline. Wherever you're going, if Southwest flies there, fly Southwest. Don't fool around with any other airline. There's my little plug. Okay, so, excuse me. Okay, now for the main event. Okay, now, given what time of the year it is, and remember at the top of this video, I said today was the 17th of October. And that means, okay, 2 weeks from today will be Halloween. So and I'll tell you what, I don't know if you have any favorite Halloween specials. I'll bet you one of them would be It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. That still comes on every year on the boob tube. So, but I have a couple of classic Halloween specials. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about. Now, you might remember many years, those of you who watched my show for quite some time, you might remember I did a package opening. And what I got was something that was newly released from Shout Factory. Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, the complete series. It included the original Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, and then the new Fat Albert show, and then the syndicated Adventures of Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. See? Of course, I also mentioned what this box set does not include is those Fat Albert specials. And, of course, here's all those other Fat Albert collections I got. Now, this was a Fat Albert Classic Collection, Volume 1 and Volume 2. They were supposed to come out with Volume 3, but it never did go through. I also got Fat Albert's Greatest Hits, the Ultimate Collection. And those, and of course, here's another Fat Albert DVD that only includes 5 certain episodes. Okay, so it's like you get a taste of Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, Now these specials, 2 of those specials here. I mentioned there were 3 specials, but check this out. The Fat Albert Easter special. And when was this aired originally? Originally aired April the 3rd of 1982. And there's also the Fat Albert Christmas special. And this originally aired, doesn't say exact date, but December of 1977. Okay? And of course, here's that 3rd special, which is one of the topics of this edition of my show. The Fat Albert Halloween special. And this originally aired, again, no exact date, but said October of 1977. Okay? Just a couple months before the Christmas special came out, was originally aired. Now, this stack of DVDs here, because remember I told you that big box set of the Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, it came out from Shout Factory earlier this year. Now all these releases came out, I think around 2005, 2006. They were released by, there was a company called Urban Works Entertainment, which is geared toward, I don't want to say any racist things, but certain types of entertainment. I think they also came out with episodes of The Cosby Show. But Urban Works Entertainment, since these came out, that company went out of business. Okay? So all these editions of Fat Albert are now out of print. Of course, you could still find these things, you know, like on Amazon or eBay. So go to those websites and see if you can find them. But now this one, however, Fat Albert Halloween Special, it was re-released back in 2012, and here it is right here. This edition, there's some certain, these two, and of course, I think they also re-released the Fat Albert Easter Special. This re-release here, it came out from Genius Entertainment and Classic Media. Okay? Now this older one that's out of print, it comes with the special features that come on this one. Comes out with a little Find Fat Albert game. It shows a bunch of pumpkins and which one is Fat Albert hiding behind. This one comes out with now this newer one came out with 2 bonus episodes of Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, The Prankster and The Jinx. Okay? Now, I haven't got the second release of the Easter Special, so I don't know what's all's on that one. Okay, but anyway, the Fat Albert Halloween Special, I like to break this out every Halloween. And this special, the gang and Rudy in the gang, they have this friend named Devery. You know, he wants to play Halloween pranks on a few elderly people. Okay? But they, in fact, off this older one, I'm going to read the back of it. After a night filled with more tricking than treating, Rudy and his friend Devery plan one last prank for spooky Mrs. Bakewell. But when 2 of the kids disappear into the old widow's house, Fat Albert and the crew set out to find their missing friends. Will Halloween fun turn into a fright for the Cosby Kids? Okay, that's off this newer release. Now, on this one, the back of it says, in this primetime special, Rudy and his new friend Devery plan to spend Halloween playing practical jokes on the elderly. But they both take aim at Searchlight Johnson, the guy who works at the movie theater where they go to see a horror movie, and Mudfoot Brown. If you watch Fat Albert, you know who Mudfoot is, that elderly friend of the Cosby Kids. Yeah, they both take aim on Searchlight Johnson and Mudfoot Brown with plans to target Mrs. Bakewell, an old widow living in a spooky house by the graveyard. But the kids get the ultimate scare when 2 of them don't return from trick-or-treating at Mrs. Bakewell's. Who will show the most courage in the end? Okay. Of course, one thing about about all these Fat Albert specials, you know, the Halloween special and Christmas special and Easter special. One thing that you don't find on those specials is those live-action segments with Bill Cosby. Okay, but nevertheless, definitely good entertainment where you learn some lessons from these things, just like the regular show. I'll tell you what, Bill Cosby, he's been around for ages. He knows how to talk to kids, you know. So, okay, but this is a definite thing. So, anyway, this newer one, I can't say anything about the. You can see if you can find this, you know, at your local video retailer. You can go to Best Buy or maybe Walmart or something like that, and take a look. But better yet, try looking on Amazon or eBay. Okay, And in fact, while you're at it, if you want to find these older, all these titles, and okay, try looking for that. And oh, one more thing. Those three specials, Halloween, Christmas, and Easter, they're also available in a certain box set. I don't have that box set, but it's the Fat Albert Holiday Collection. Okay? So, you might try looking for those in your stores or on Amazon or eBay, too. If you want to get... and you can find these things pretty cheap, you know. Of course, like I said, this, okay, which just came out, earlier this year, you can still find this. This came from Shout Factory, so you can go to shoutfactory.com, see if you can buy this there. So, but okay, but yeah, all these specials and the Fat Albert Halloween special, yeah. Now the other Halloween DVD that I've got, this Halloween special, this was, you might remember, those of you who've been around for a while might remember the 60s and 70s, those are a bit older than me, if not as old as me. You might remember when practically everyone and their mother did variety shows on the Boob Tube. There was, Donnie and Marie, Sonny and Cher, Tony Orlando and Don, Captain Tennille, Dean Martin, yeah, those being hits, Well, there was a Halloween variety special, and it was originally aired. I forgot. Hold on just let me look at this Wikipedia. Try looking at that. And okay. Anyway, this particular special originally aired only once and was never aired on television again. Okay. And, okay, here it is. It originally aired on October the 29th of 1976. Okay? And, okay, and of course, for many years, it was thought that, that all the copies of that show were lost. But they were able to find, through the extraordinarily efforts of one of the special's producers, they were able to find what they believed to be the very last copy of that show. Of course, what is this particular special? This is, are you ready for this? The Paul Lynde Halloween Special. Okay, this DVD was released back in 2007 from S'more Entertainment. Okay, that's right, s'more, as in those things you eat at campfires, s'mores, graham cracker things. But anyway, anyway, yeah. There is a little disclaimer on this, and at the beginning of the video of the disc, before they show the menu on screen. This disclaimer says, for many years it was thought that no copies of this complete show existed. We believe that this is the only existing master tape, and as such there may be certain unavoidable flaws and anomalies that exist in the source video elements. Okay? But you know what? It's definitely watchable, despite its technicalities. This was a special. This had an all-star cast, okay? Paul Lynde, you might remember him. He was the center square on Hollywood Squares for many years. And, of course, he did other shows. He was Uncle Arthur on Bewitched and all that stuff, Okay. But this included, okay, an all-star cast, Margaret Hamilton reprising her role as the Wicked Witch of the West from a movie that everyone and their mother has seen, The Wizard of Oz. And, of course, Billy Hayes starring as Witchy Poo. And There's also Billy Barty and Tim Conway, Florence Henderson, yep, Carol Brady herself, and Betty White, and there's also an uncredited cameo by Donnie and Marie Osmond. But the reason why I decided to buy this included the very first primetime appearance of the hottest band in the world, KISS! Yep. And as a matter of fact, if you KISS fans out there purchased the Kissology video sets that came out some number of years back, there's a clip from this show, where Paul Lynde and Margaret Hamilton as the witch, they were on there. But this is where you get the whole special in its entirety. And so this includes a bunch of funny skits, and yeah, this is where KISS performs Detroit Rock City, Beth, and King of the Nighttime World. Because you see, 1976, the year that this came out on television, that was also the year that KISS released their Destroyer album that included all three of those songs. And all those three songs are featured in this special. Okay? And now, of course, there's some DVD special features here. And now I mentioned Paul about being one of the regulars on Hollywood Squares. Well, one of the special features is an extensive audio reminiscence by Peter Marshall, host of Hollywood Squares, accompanied by a photographic montage. Okay? And some other ones are an extensive photo scrapbook containing rare photographs, many provided by family and friends, a little interactive game named That Quip, an interactive trivia game based on questions Paul answered during his reign on Hollywood Squares. And there's a little alert there. There's a special bonus when all 30 are answered correctly. And, of course, notable quotes from Paul Lynde. Okay? Now, you mentioned I mentioned one of the cast members being Billy Hayes, starring as Witchy Poo. Those of you who remember classic Saturday morning shows, why does the name Witchy Poo sound familiar, you're asking? Well, because Witchy Poo was a character on one of the Sid and Marty Krofft shows, H.R. Pufnstuf. Yep. As a matter of fact, you notice, even though this special wasn't produced by the Krofft brothers, there is a bunch of Sid and Marty Krofft connections, In fact, hold on just a moment. I'm just bringing this up. Okay. In fact, I'm just going over this Wikipedia. Yeah, as a matter of fact, when you watch the end credits, the voiceover announcer says, "The character of Witchy Poo was from the world of Sid and Marty Krofft." See? That's one of those connections. As a matter of fact, Billy Hayes also starred in Pufnstuf and Lidsville. Now, Margaret Hamilton, she starred in another Sid and Marty Krofft show, Sigmund and the Sea Monsters. As a matter of fact, Billy Barty also starred in that one, along with the Bugaloos and Dr. Shrinker. Florence Henderson, you remember back in the 70s, the cast of the Brady Bunch did a variety show called The Brady Bunch Hour, and that was a variety show produced by the Krofft brothers in association with Paramount Pictures, Paramount Television, the studio responsible for the original Brady Bunch show. And of course, Donnie and Marie, I mentioned their cameo appearance. Their variety show, at least for the first season or two, was produced by Sid and Marty Krofft in association with Osmond Productions. But excuse me. But then a few seasons after that, Osmond Productions took over the show, and of course, I think you get the idea. But definitely, if you wanna see a good variety show, watch this. And oh, I forgot another cast member on that show. I mentioned Tim Conway. Of course, you remember him from the Carol Burnett Show and all that stuff. One other is she's billed as Roz Pinky Tuscadero Kelly. That's right, Roz Kelly. She starred as Pinky Tuscadero on Happy Days. See, if they just said Roz Kelly, people might not have understood, But she also starred in this video too. I mean, this show. You get the idea. But yeah, if you want to see a good variety special for Halloween, this is it. And you especially want to see it. I got it because of because, like I said, this being Kiss's primetime debut. So anyway, these are my two Halloween DVDs. See, Fat Albert Halloween Special and the Paul Lynde Halloween Special. So you might want to go to Amazon.com or eBay or check your local video retailers to see if they have these in stock. Okay? Okay, well, with that being said, hope you enjoyed my little thing about the Halloween DVDs. Okay, and one more thing I'm going to do, like I usually do. I got some birthday shout-outs to give out. Okay, one of them being someone who recently became a fellow Facebookite of mine. There, I said it. She had a birthday on the 8th of this month. Caitlin Hugo Myers. Okay, she had a birthday. Hope you had a happy birthday. And last week, the 10th of October, was a birthday for someone I was in marching band with back in high school, Lisa Heinrich Ramirez. Hope you had a happy birthday, sweetie. And of course, yesterday, the 16th, was a birthday for a member of the D-Backs High Energy Entertainment Team, the Rallybacks, Jocelyn Smar. She had a birthday yesterday, too. I hope you had a happy birthday. And today is a birthday for someone else I went to high school with, Jennifer Bell Payne. Hope you have a happy birthday, sweetie. And one more I'm going to pass along. One more old classmate, one of the cheerleaders from high school, Charla Sudderth Moser. Hope you have a happy birthday this coming Tuesday, sweetie. Tuesday the 21st, that is. Okay, so got those out of the way. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the little take of that. You know what? Maybe I ought to send this, have this other YouTube user, Zaranai see if he can watch this video. So see if I can, share this with him, or I'll invite him to watch it. So, because Zaranai he watches, he's into, he does that little show on YouTube called the Multimedia Chronicles, and he talks about videos and DVDs and music and all that stuff. So I think I'll see if I can pass this video on to him. So see what he thinks of it. Okay. Well, anyway, without all that being out of the way, that's going to do it for me for now. So until next time, here comes my little text, and hope your device catches it. Let's get ready to rock and roll! Crisscross applesauce out. See you later.